Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to deliver the lecture on loop structures. I hope that you are familiar with the term loop. What is a loop? Basically, something that is being repeated, something that is happening repeatedly is called a loop. Now we use some terms for loop, which are the alternate words, which are iteration or repetitive logic. You must be familiar about the logics, which we have sequence logic and selection logic. And now we are going to talk about the repetitive logic or iteration. These are the three structures that you have to study. The first one is called for to next. The second one is called while to end while. And the third one is called repeat until. Let me start with the first one, for to next. It's basically also called count control loop. And the reason is, since it is meant to perform the same task a set number of times, the value is already known to me that how many times I have to perform the activity. That is why it is called a count control loop. And the syntax of this for loop is written for variable equals to start to end. And then we also specify the step value here. And then we write down the statements. And then we end this for loop with the help of next. One more thing that you need to remember is writing down variable with next is optional. Although it is always preferred that we write down variable along with next. But even if we skip this one, still it is perfectly okay. There will be no harm. There will be no mistake. You will still be able to work on this if the variable is not written with next. Moving on to the example. You can see the example is written here. If I want to display the numbers from 1 to 10, so the instruction is given to you for counter equals to 1 to 10, output or print. Again, I'm recalling something that we have done earlier. We have done output or print for this, and the same is happening here. And again, you are saying output counter and then next counter. So it means the work will be done 10 times. And in this scenario, the value of counter will be displayed. So the value of counter is 1. So 1 will be printed. The value of counter will become 2 automatically and the value will be printed. In this manner, the counter's value will change 10 times and it will be printed accordingly. On the contrary, you can see on the other hand, the value is to be printed from 10 to 1. We are going in the reverse order. And for this reverse, what we do is we use the step value and we say step -1. And the procedure is the same, but only the change that you can observe here is the value is step -1. I hope that I'm very much clear about it. No queries regarding this. Now I'm moving on to the second structure, which is while to end while. And you can see a word is written here that is called precondition loop. Precondition means that the condition is checked before and the task is done later. And you can see here, while the structure of while is while condition do, and then we write down the statements, and then we have end while in the end. Now let's see that example. The same example I'm continuing, and it is called precondition loop because the condition is checked first and the task is done later. The condition is false, it never performs the activity. Now you can see I have taken another variable, but it's just to make it clear that it's not necessary to always use counter, although it is always preferred to use variable that depicts its nature. But we have taken C here, initialized with 1, while C less than or equal to 10. So you can see, since the condition is true, 1 is less than or equal to 10, the condition is true. That is why it will enter and will output C, and C will be incremented by 1. And then end while will send it back to while with the change value of C, that is 2. 2 less than 10, again condition true, it will perform the activity, enter the loop, increase by 1. In this manner, the work will be done 10 times and the loop will terminate when the value of C was 10 printed. The value of C was increased by 1, it became 11. And then if it moved up, the condition is now false. So the loop will not execute, it will be terminated. On the contrary, if I want to print the values in the reverse order. So here the value of C is initialized by 10 Now, what are we doing? While c greater than or equal to 1 do, you can see the value is 10 greater than or equals to 1. Condition is still true. So it will enter the loop, it will perform the activity, and the value will be decreased by 1. And the value will now become from 10 minus 1 will become 9. Condition is going to be again checked with while 9 greater than or equals to 1. Again, condition is true. It will be automatically entering the loop, and again the same procedure will be repeated, outputting the value of c and then decreasing the value of c by 1. In this manner, the loop will again be executing 10 times, but now it will be counting in the reverse order. The third loop structure, repeat until the condition does not become true. It means it's basically a post condition loop, and you can see the reason is the condition is written later and it's going to perform the activity at least once. Kam as kam ek martaba. It has to perform the activity once at least, that is why, and the condition is checked later. That's why it is called a post condition loop. Now you can see the same is the same question as we had handled earlier. We are doing it with the same now with repeat until. Now, what are we doing? Initializing with 1, repeat. Output C, C equals to C plus 1, until C equals to 11, until the value of C does not become 11. So it means repeat until will work when the condition is false, and it stops working when the condition becomes true. Like, keep on teaching until the time gets over. Keep on working until the bell rings. So in this manner, just remember, until's job is a little different. Repeat until works when the condition is false. It stops working when the condition becomes true. So when the value of C has increased, and reached 11, it will stop functioning, and when the value of C will become 11, it will stop functioning completely and the loop will terminate. On the contrary, if I'm printing the value in the reverse order, starting with 10, going on, repeat, output C, the value of 10 will be printed, decrement will take place, and then it will continue to operate until the value of C does not become 0. So these exercises are only meant to make your concept clearer. Otherwise, what you need to know are the three loop structures. For to next, which is count control loop, means here I know the number of iterations beforehand. A set number of times is given to me. I know it and I do it. The second one is while do and while, which is a precondition loop, where the condition is written before, the condition is checked before, and if the condition is false, it never executes. And the third one is my repeat until, which is a post condition loop, and it performs the activity at least once. Condition is checked later. I hope that I'm now very much clear to you. We are definitely going to do a lot of exercises of these three loop structures, and they are very important whenever we are working on our debugging as well. Best of luck. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.